people let the omnipotence of God have its way in and through your experience, what you might find is that God is more than equipped to deal with your stuff. But now, it might appear to be miraculous, but it's only miraculous from the standpoint that God is already equipped you to be what you are to be. God has already made you to prosper in the storm. You are already the victor in the storm. You are already the champion through the storm. You see the wind blow, and the wind tells you that it's big and bad. But you have to be willing to know who you are as you go through the storm. And the way that you come to know who you are is by spending time with that which you are. You don't spend no time with God, you will get your bippy whooped all around this place because you think you're somebody that you're not. You have to spend time with God in order to know the voice of God. You have to get into the silence. See, your situation, condition, and circumstances is saying that you're losing. And the Holy Spirit is saying, trust me. But it's not shouting it like I'm shouting it. It's not saying, trust me this loud, trust me. No voice coming from heaven. The voice is inside of you. But if you won't be still, if you won't quiet yourself, I believe Isaiah says, in quietness and confidence shall be your strength. Stop calling folks who don't have the answer. Do you realize that their lives are a mess too? Stop calling folks who don't have the answer. The answer is within you. The answer is within you. If you listen to the Holy Spirit, it will tell you how to go and when to get there. If you listen to the Holy Spirit, it will tell you, grab your big pocketbook, because they don't really respect folks with little pocketbooks. If you listen, if you get still, if you quiet your mind, not only do you have to quiet your mind, you have to quiet your feelings. You have to quiet your feelings. You have to take charge of your faculties. Stop letting this stuff push you around. Sitting under all this good truth and struggling just as day is the loan. It don't make sense. I'm still going. I got one more. It's called the law of demonstration. It's called the law of demonstration. It's principle. We're talking about walking in principle. We're talking about being blessed by our ability to walk in principle. Now, this law of demonstration says that if you realize that there is only one presence and one power, and that presence and power is God the good, if you realize that not only is God the only presence and power, but you are divinely and significantly connected to that one presence and power, you will think in ways that allow your life to be transformed. So God is the only presence and power. You are connected to that presence and power, and through your thinking, your life begins to be transformed. And through this transformation, you find out what is the will of God for you. Now, as you are transforming, you must support yourself. You must support your soul through your meditation, through your prayer, and through your sitting in the silence. You got to come apart. You have to come apart. Jesus prayed. And you, oh God, you want somebody to pray for you. I submit to you that you have to be prepared to pray for yourself. You have to watch people's concept of God. When you see people, some folk might think that God should be punishing you for the stuff you asking them to pray for. Your concept of God prevails you to the kind of prayer that gets the prayer through for you. You have to be careful who you have praying for you. You have to be careful. You have to be careful who you want. You don't want everybody to touch you. You got to be careful in this spiritual walk. It's a spiritual walk, folks. It's a spiritual walk. You got to be careful what you open yourself up to. This is the real business. This is the real deal. And to my kids, it works just as well when you're in school, when you're in grammar school or high school or wherever it is you're going. When you find yourself confronted with situations, conditions, and circumstances that it look like you can't overcome, you just need to know how to touch the hem of the garment for yourself. There might not be a person in your crew. There might not be a person in your crew who believes what you believe. There might not be a person in your crew who think they're going to make it past 21. But I submit to you, you're not going to die if you connected to this in here. Oh no, we're seeing life. We're not just seeing life, we're seeing life abundant for you. We're seeing success for you. One of the greatest things that Christ Universal Temple has going for it is the quality of person it produces. We've got doctors and lawyers and actresses and musicians and artists of every kind. The ilk that this church produces, I submit to you, is unparalleled. Only, and this is just my own research, and I know I haven't talked about this last one yet. I'm getting there. The only place that I've seen, it's just me in my bubble, the only place that I've seen produce more quality folk, and I won't even say more. The only place I've seen produce on this level is academia. And look at the numbers that go through there and the numbers that come through here. This is the business in here. This is the business. This produces real people. You see, you don't get this without work, though. You don't get this without study. You don't get this without rightly dividing the word of truth for yourself. You have to understand it and be able to explain it to your own self-soul. This is a life-altering message. You might feel good when you leave here, you might not. That don't mean you didn't get some truth. That don't mean you don't have something that you can't take out of here right now and put to work. Right now you can put it to work. I say to you, you are divine. I say to you, you are significant. And you go home and he or she says to you that you ain't nothing, that you will never be nothing. I say you have to be able to say to yourself, oh, somebody lying to me. You have to know who you are. You have to know that you are divine. You have to know that you are significant. This is not just some make-believe, make-up stuff. This is the truth about you. And so when you understand these principles, when you walk in these principles, you find that you are able to demonstrate things that before you had not been able to demonstrate. You find that you are able to think ways that you had not been able to think before. You find that you are able to feel ways that you hadn't been able to feel before. You find that you're able to speak and stand on your own big spiritual feet in ways that you had not been able to speak and stand before. You find that your actions are a little different. See, when you get in this will shake your stuff out. You are not going to be the same once you get done with this. Because see, you don't work on this works on you. And while this is working on you, you have to reciprocate that work. You have to study to show yourself approved. Because if you can be approved, you can also be disapproved. But in your study, your soul is elevated and God is magnified. God is glorified in and through that which rises up in you. It's not just about you. You think you get all this so you can just work your life? You got any idea how many people you gonna come into contact with? You got any idea how many people you might be the only Bible they ever read? There's something special about Christ Universal Temple folk. Yeah, y'all crazy. That's a true story. That's not a rumor. But crazy in the sense that you know who you are. Everybody don't know who they are. And so when you know who you are, you talk a little different. When you know who you are, you walk a little different. When you know who you are, you act a little different. When you know who you are, you react a little different. Walking in the principle is your key to living the kind of life you were intended to live. You are no mistake. God knows who you are. God knows what you were called to do. God knows that you were planted here for a reason. And everything that you need in order to be successful is right within your soul.